Okay, so this is a recorded video for entrepreneurship and value creation. And module number 2, module number 3, entrepreneurial thinking, and module number 4, disruptive thinking and innovation. Okay, so let's start. So, ang topic natin for this video is entrepreneurship and value creation. So, what are the entrepreneurial traits? Ibig sabihin, ano ba yung mga kailangan para maging successful ang isang entrepreneur? Sino ba yung mga tao na merong characteristics ng isang entrepreneur? Okay. Number one characteristics is that entrepreneurs have empowering perspective of failure. Ibig sabihin, they don't view failure as the end game. Okay. Entrepreneurs, they are the people who think of failure as something to overcome. They consider failure as a way of learning and growth. Okay, so they don't take failure personally. Next, entrepreneurs know a little about a lot. Ibig sabihin, um, when you say entrepreneurs know a little about a lot, it's more of being calm. So, gaya nga na nasa example ninyo, is yung nabanggit dito yung rule number 5. Don't take yourself so seriously. Kasi kapag masyado ka maraming iniisip, um, na nawawala ka sa focus and you cannot think better. Okay? So, next is entrepreneurs give and receive praise correction. Okay, there is a technique that is mentioned here in your handout wherein it is called PCP, which stand for praise, correct, praise. Ibig sabihin, kapag may gusto ka daw na i-correct na tao is you use praise first and then you correct kung ano yung wrong and then you praise the person kung nagawa niya ng tama. So for instance, nagpapapintura ka sa kapatid mo ng kwarto tapos nakita mo mali yung kunwari ang pinapapintura mong kulay ay color white, 'di ba maraming color ang white. Ang pinapapintura mo is pearl white and then ang ginamit niyang pintura is, dirty white, okey. So sabihin mo, "Uy, maganda yung pagkaka-apply mo ng pintura natin, pantay-pantay." Tapos i-correct mo siya, "What if gawin nating mas light pa?" Kasi ang pearl white is mas lighter pa compared sa dirty white, okey. So iko-correct mo yung timpla nung pintura and then ipapa-apply mo sa kanya and then kapag nagawa niya ng tama, sasabihin mo sa kanya, "Job well done." Okey, yun po yung tinatawag nating praise, correct, praise. It's rather than, sasabihin mo na mali agad. Siyempre kapag ikaw yung tao 'pag sinabi mo na mali agad yung trabaho, 'di ba nakakawalang gana. So, purihin mo muna kung meron siyang ginawang something na tama and then saka mo ipasok yung correction na pwede mong or improvement na pwede na maisa-suggest mo dun sa kanyang ginagawa. Okay, next, entrepreneurs fly with eagles. So, sino ba yung mga eagles? Eagles is an animal, right? In fact, dito sa Pilipinas, ang national bird natin is eagle. Okay? Just like eagles, entrepreneurs are fearless and thus very results-oriented. So, ano ba ang entrepreneurs fly with eagles? So, in short, you try to settle things first using the people. Okay? And then, dun ka mag-proceed sa process. Like for instance, so meron kang complaint sa isang restaurant. Kunwari, hindi pala complaint, like request. Like gusto mo is ipatanggal yung isang ingredient doon sa meal kasi allergic ka. And then, ipapadaan mo muna yun doon sa waiter. Pag tumanggi yung waiter at sinabi niya na hindi kaya na gawa ng paraan or tanggalin yung ingredient na allergic ka, doon ka naman magpo-proceed sa tamang proseso which is kakausapin mo yung manager and then kung magre-request ba siya or kung i-approve niya yung request mo. Okay? So, people before process and then customers before policy. Okay? Next, entrepreneurs look into the future. So tinatawag natin to as visionary. Okay? Vision attracts power and it's what attracts wisdom. In short, hindi ka kasi makakaroon ng magandang vision makes you being in line with your goal, 'di ba? Kapag alam mo kung ano yung gusto mo, alam mo kung ano rin yung gagawin mo. It always fall into place. Ito yung sinasabi natin sa mga Gen Z na mindset, 'di ba? Kung nilalagay mo siya sa isip mo, you also attract all the forces na makakatulong sa iyo para makuha yung mindset mo. Entrepreneurs look into the future. Okay. Next, this naman, entrepreneurs change the world. These are the famous entrepreneurs na maraming binigay na impact regarding sa business world. Number one is Tony Tan Kak Tiong. Kilalang kilala natin to. He was the entrepreneur behind Jollibee. Okay? Hindi na lang siya sa Philippines na karoon ng business but also all over the world. We also have Angeline Tam. Si Angeline Tam, siya yung nagpauso nung riding app, 'di ba? Angkas riding app. Ngayon, marami nang nagsigayahan but originally angkas pa rin talaga. Who would have imagined ang motor ay magiging part ng public transportation, 'di ba? Next, we have Howard Schultz. Siya po yung founder ng Starbucks company. Okay. Um, ang Starbucks company is actually a good company kasi yung kanilang beans is produced ng kanilang farmers or they also purchase from local farmers. We also have Phil Knight which yung excuse me. Ito naman yung behind Nike. So, kailang kilala natin ng Nike ngayon, di ba? And then we also have Reed Hastings. Si Reed Hastings, ang napanood ko sa isang video or mini movie, yung reason ng Netflix. Actually, yung idea ng Netflix na gumawa sila ng application wherein nandun na yung mga movies is binibenta nila yan dati kay Blockbuster. Si Blockbuster ang line of business niya is kung dito sa Philippines meron tayong Video City. Sa ibang bansa meron silang Blockbuster. In short, nagpaparent sila ng DVD. Okay, so tinanggihan si Netflix ng Blockbuster. And then ayun, mas sumikat si Netflix ngayon, 'di ba? Hindi mo na kailangan pumunta sa mga video rental shop because you can always have access sa Netflix basta magbayad ka lang, 'di ba? We also have Amancio Ortega. He is the one behind Zara. So dati si Zara, local tailor shop siya, yung mga gumagawa ng dressing gown, house coats, and such. And then ngayon, meron na siyang retail business. We also have Walt Disney, yung kinalakihan nating lahat. Hindi lang sila amusement park, they also have this production for movies. Okay. And we also have Mark Zuckerberg or yung Meta pero mas sikat pa rin talaga Facebook. Siya yung reason behind ng meron tayo which is Facebook. Na ngayon, hindi na lang siya social media but also an advertising platform, right? Yun talaga yung main business ng Facebook which is yung advertisement. We also have Steve Jobs, yung sa Apple. Patay na si Steve Jobs eh. But, syempre yung kanyang mga learnings na tinuro na sa mga business students like us is hindi pa rin mawawala yon. Okay? Si Steve Jobs is one of can be considered one of the greatest innovators that we had. Okay. We have Elon Musk. Si Elon Musk, siya yung nag-revolutionize ng space technology. Actually, siya din yung executive ng Tesla, yung sports car. Okay. We also have Anne Wojcicki. So personally, hindi ko siya kilala but based on your handout, siya yung nag-imbento or nag-introduce ng mga DNA kit testing na parang, 'di ba? Ang pregnancy test kits is available sa market. Pero ang DNA testing is kailangan pumunta ka pa ng lab. So, ang pinopropose ni Anne would be, pwede na magbenta ng genetic test kits na magagamit mo ng or anong tawag dito, magagamit ng kahit na sino man, like a pregnancy test kit. We also have Lara Page and Sergey Brin. Sila yung naka-imbento or reason behind Google going public. Okay, ang Google ngayon, siya yung number one platform, search platform natin. Also, meron na siyang Google Themes, Google Mail, Notes, di ba? And itong mga tools na to is ginagamit namin, lalo na sa mga nag-online class, lalo na yung Google Classroom. And yung Google Classroom na yun is actually free naman siya, but a certain limit lang ng students. Like, kapag nag-exceed ka na sa around 20, magkakaroon ka na ng bayad. Pati yung Google Meet na platform nila, dati free yun nung pandemic, but nowadays, they made it into a business na free ka up to 30 minutes, pero beyond that, kailangan mo i-reset, di ba? So, ang hassle kasi nun. Kaya yung mga schools ngayon, nag-avail na ng Google Meet. Sa STI, you have Microsoft Teams, di ba? Sa ibang school, Google Meet ang gamit nila. Okay. Value creation. The entrepreneurial value creation theory. Ang theory na to from the name itself is that the focus of entrepreneurs is to create value. When we say create value, what is valuable to your customers? Are you making an impact to the lives of your customers? In short, does your product or the services that you offer are valuable to your customers? Yun yung goal natin to serve or to give the community or society something na magagamit nila. That is what entrepreneurial value creation theory. Kasi kapag gagawa ka ng product na kailangan ng society, hindi ka matatalo dyan, di ba? Pero kapag gumawa ka ng product na magbibigay lang ng short-term satisfaction sa isang community, madali kang matalo dyan eh. Like for instance, recently kasi nahihilig ako mag-arrange ng aking study table. I have this lampshade or I am contemplating in buying this lampshade. The usual lampshade na color white, di ba? Na may bulb, yung normal lang. And then I also am contemplating this lampshade na mukhang moon. Kasi ang ganda niya eh, mukha kang nakaka-relax yung moon. But eventually, na-realize ko habang nagbabasa ako ng review na yung moon daw na lampshade is madaling masira. Unlike yung lampshade na binibili ko or yung pang-industrial or yung pangbahay talaga, yung ang purpose niya talaga is lampshade lang, is matagal siyang magamit. Like, ako, I have this lampshade na kakasira lang na nagamit ko siya for 10 years. Simula college ako hanggang nakapag-masters ako, kasama ko yung lampshade na yun. And I am quite satisfied and I am looking for that lampshade. Kaya lang, medyo na-phase out siya because that lampshade uses yung bumbilya na hindi LED. So, kasi ganun na nga katagal, di ba? Yung umiinit ba na lamp, pero hindi kasi, wala na akong mahanap na ganung lamp, pero hindi LED. So, kailangan ko na talaga siyang i-dispose. Ayun. But it satisfies me kasi talagang maliwanag yung lampshade na yun. Okay. And then, rationale for a sustainable world. Okay. So this part of your handout focuses doon sa bakit ba nauubos yung resources natin, natural resources. So basically, we are running out of resources due to our number of technological successes. Kasi alam niyo naman yan sa real life, you always have to give and take. So kung nag-give tayo ng mga technological successes, what are we sacrificing? Yung resources natin. Kaya nauuso ngayon yung mga entrepreneurs na nagfo-focus sa sustainability. When you say sustainability, they are trying to minimize yung impact ng businesses doon sa mga natural resources natin. Or kung merong chance na ma-renew nila yung resources na ginamit nila, gagawin nila. Ang tawag naman doon ay sustainable efforts from the business. Okay? Creating beyond reactive problem solving. Okay, so we have to determine first what's the difference between creating and reacting to problems. When we say creating, you draw energy from dreams or visions of what people truly want to exist. While reactive problem solving, merong crisis eh. Nagre-respond ka na lang doon. Okay? Next. Else. So, yun lang po yung handout number 2 ninyo. Now, let's proceed to handout number 3, entrepreneurial thinking. Okay. Entrepreneurial thinking starts with entrepreneurial curiosity. So, what is curiosity? Curiosity is the impulse to seek out new ideas and experiences. It is to look at the world from a different perspective. You're always asking, why? Okay. So there is a research that created the model for entrepreneurial curiosity and says that it has four dimensions. Number one is curiosity. There is a thirst for new experiences and knowledge. Okay? And then next is yung insight. Sa insight naman, your ability to collect information and to draw or synthesize that information and suggest possibilities. So sa curiosity, pinag-iisipan mo kung ano yung kulang, ano yung mali, ano yung kailangan. But for the insight, you are trying to provide solutions for this thirst, for this curiosity. Okay? And then for engagement is to the ability to connect with others. 'Di ba? Meron ka nang nagawang proposal sa insight. Yung proposal na yon, you try to communicate that with people around you. That's engagement. And lastly is determination. Determination is the persistence to overcome obstacles and achieve challenging goals. When you say determination, yun, um, what are you what are you willing to give para makilala yung product mo, para ma-improve yung product mo at maging successful in terms of sharing your products to the public. Else, enhancing entrepreneurial capacity. So, how are we going to enhance entrepreneurial capacity? Number one is ask the right questions. Hindi lahat ng questions is relevant. There is a good question, there is an excellent question, and a bad question. When we say excellent question, it encourage um, a mindful answer, while a bad question does not. When you say mindful or substantive question, like for example, um, paano mo paano ka nag-come up sa paggawa ng ganitong product? What is the reason behind this particular product? That is an excellent question because number one, it is not answerable by yes or no. Kapag sinagot yan ng tao, meaning may makukuha at mapupulot ka sa way ng pagsagot niya. How, paano naman natin siya i-distinguish from a bad question? Like for instance, masaya ka ba nung ginawa mo yan? It is answerable by yes or no. It is a bad question kasi from answer such as yes or no, wala ka namang mapapala doon. Walang pag-expound kung bakit siya masaya. Okay? So that is considered as a bad question. Sa mga babae, gustong-gusto namin yung excellent question, 'di ba? Kapag nagpapa-explain kami sa mga lalaki, gusto namin laging may explanation, merong bakit mo ginawa 'yan, ano naging kasalanan mo. Ayaw namin yung yes or no lang. Okay? We need explanation, di ba? And then, we also have innovation time. So, innovation time. Sa Google, sa isa sa practice ng Google company is that it allows employee to divide their weekly time by 70%, 20%, and 10%. 70% daw, kailangan mag-work sila doon sa business task nila. 20% is they have to work on related projects but not their core businesses, and 10% for unrelated projects. So, how does it encourage innovation? By working on the things that are outside your comfort zone, you are generating new ideas. You are exploring things that outside of your boundaries that might interest you in the future. O, diba? Next, always listen without judgment. When you listen without judgment, nakakakuha at nakakapulot ka ng maraming ideas. Kasi kapag yung pakikinig mo sa ibang tao has judgment, na-filter out mo kung ano ba yung useful lang sa'yo at kung ano yung ayaw, yung hindi useful tingin mo as of that moment, you tend to disregard it. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, you always have to listen without judgment. Okay, let's proceed to handout number 4. Okay, handout number 4 is disruptive thinking and innovation. The following are the different types of innovation. We have process innovation, product or service innovation, and disruptive innovation. So sa process innovation, you are changing or you are improving how product or services is manufactured. So focus kayo dito sa word na how. Dito. Okay? Paano ba ginagawa yung product? Okay? So kunwari meron kang um, 15 steps in making a product. Process innovation can be done by minimizing that 15 steps to only 7 steps, kakalahatiin mo, but still achieving efficiency and the effectiveness of that product. Okay. While product or service innovation, these are creating new ideas that do not alter the established business models. Okay. May example nito. Like for example, yung mga nagtitinda ng cellphones. Cellphones pa rin yung ibibenta nila but has better features, better capacity, better specs na tinatawag natin. Those are considered as product or service innovation. Well, for disruptive innovation, there are two types of disruptive innovation, yung low-end disruptive innovation and then yung new market disruptive innovation. So ito, parang mixture siya ng product service innovation pero ginawang minis yung mga items. Bakit ko nasabing ginawang minis? Later on, iti-discuss natin. Okay. So, disruptive innovation is a new value proposition. It creates value to new markets or reshape existing markets. Okay, doon tayo sa first type ng first type ng disruptive innovation, which is yung low-end disruptive innovation. Low-end disruptive innovation exists when products and services are too good and hence overpriced relative to value existing customers can use. Like for example, gaya nga ng nabanggit ko sa inyo dati, meron tayong Video City. I think ang presyo ng Video City kapag new release lang yung VCD or DVD is nasa 50 pesos tapos kailangan mo siyang ibalik overnight. Presyo niya is 20, 30 pesos depende kung gaano nakaluma yung movie. Okay? But in Netflix, regardless na kung anong gusto mong panoorin, kung year 2000 ba yan, 2024, as long as nandun sa platform, ang ginawa nila is access for all movies yung meron sa Netflix as long as magbayad ka. At ang ginawa nila instead na sa type ng movies na papanoorin mo yung presyo is depende sa account. Like for example, there is this um pang mobile lang or pang tablet and computer lang at saka isa lang yung ng makakagamit ng account at a time. Meron din yung standard, meron din yung pang family na pwede sabay-sabay. Okay? Binago nila yung market ng video entertainment. And then we also have this new market disruptive innovation can occur when existing product characteristics limit the potential consumers or force consumption according to inconvenient and centralized settings. So ano ba ang example nito? Ngayon, nabanggit ko kanina sa inyo yung sa Google Meet. Okay? Or Zoom na lang. Meron namang free na Zoom pero limited lang yung capacity ng joiners for that Zoom meeting. And then kunwari gumagawa ka ng training or seminar, online seminar, syempre maraming a-attend yan. As habang tumatagal, habang dumadami yung number of participants mo, mas tumataas yung presyo ng binabayaran mo if you are using Zoom. Okay? Next, disruptive innovation theory. So, disruptive innovation, as discussed kanina, makes products accessible or services accessible, affordable, and available to larger population. So, disruption is a process. Okay. Paano siya naging process? Okay. Ang disruption kasi hindi yan bigla-bigla. Like for example, yung mga gumawa ng computers, 'di ba dati ang computers malalaki, ngayon paliit na ng paliit. Pero bago nila ma-achieve yung maliliit na computer, like MacBook, like yung mga 13 inches, dumaan muna sila sa malalaking version para ma-analyze nila kung paano nila papaliitin or gagawing mini yung mga piyesa or parts ng computer. But take note, they are still catering kahit na malaki pa yung computer dati, 'di ba? Marami pa rin silang customers. And then, ayun, in that way, makipapakita natin na yung disruption is an innovation, is a process, inunti-unti nila. Okay? Next, disruptors often build business models that are different from those of its incumbents. So, example natin si Apple kasi may palabas ngayon, Apple 16 na, 'di ba? So, 'pag disruptors, they use the same business model, however, they try to introduce yung improvement, okay? 'Di ba ngayon nakakatawa si Apple kasi lagi na lang every year nilo-look forward natin na lalabas na yung bagong iPhone something number, 'di ba? Ngayon is 16 na. Kaya ano yung bago? Okay? So, kung ikaw user ka ng iPhone 15 at may pera ka naman, bibili ka nung 16 kasi it offers something new na hindi naman offered sa 15. Okay? Next, some disruptive innovations succeed and some don't. Hindi lahat ng disruption leads to triumph. Um, Meron din na hindi sila nagiging successful para ma-attain yung kanilang goals. Okay? But the thing is, you are still entrepreneurs. Gaya nga ng nasabi ko sa inyo kanina, failure is just parang stopover lang yan eh. Papahinga ka, tapos babangon ka ulit. Kung entrepreneur ka, you don't take failure personally. Ginagamit mo siya as fuel para mas galingan mo pa sa susunod. Okay. And then lastly, the mantra disrupt or to be disrupted can misguide people. So, when you say mantra to disrupt or disrupted can misguide people, is that ang mga current companies ngayon is nag-uunahan sila kung sino ba ang unang magde-disrupt. Kasi kapag ikaw ang unang nag-disrupt is ikaw yung may edge over the other companies. But the thing is, you have to understand what is the meaning of disruption. Ang disruption kasi focuses on products, not you are disrupting the companies, your competitors. You are disrupting the way products are viewed. Okay? So, nagkakaroon ng mis, um, misguide, misguided na mga tao regarding sa concept ng disruption. Okay? So, that's your disruptive thinking. Okay? So, ang exam ninyo will cover handout 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, your exam will be, I think, next week. Good luck, and I hope you do good in your upcoming examination.